I'd like to call this meeting in order. Welcome everybody. Pledge allegiance led by Supervisor Bruno.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask the clerk to do the roll call.
Mr. Conover. Mr. Mayday.
Here.
Mr. Diamond.
Here.
Ms. Gilligan. Here. Ms. Turner. Here. Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Driscoll.
Here.
Mr. Patchit.
Here.
Mr. Drossy.
Here.
Mr. Bean. Mr. Cressida.
Here.
Mr. Merlino.
Here.
Mr. Stroud.
Here.
Mr. Wild.
Here.
Mr. Gowan.
Here.
Mr. Strainer.
Here.
Mr. Etu.
Here.
Mr. Thomas.
Here.
Ms. Runyon. Here. Chairman Garrett.
Here.
Quorum is established.
Okay, first item of business would be to approve the minutes of November 21st, 2025. They want to make a motion. Vote by Supervisor Strainer, second by Supervisor Gilligan. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed. Abstain. Next, we have some people who are retiring today, and I'd like to start out with a friend of ours who, when I first started here, was soil and water conservation as head of that. Then he went to Lake George and became the executive director of the park commission. So Dave Wick has spent the past 33 years working to ensure Warren County's natural environment is as healthy as it can be. And his decision and dedication, cooperative experience have been deeply appreciated both during his days with Lake George Park Commission and Soil and Water Conservation District. During his nearly 14 years as executive director of the Park Commission, Dave was instrumental in bringing first of a kind pole inspection program to Lake George. We all know what happened when that was put forward. But his comment about what Mayor Place was going to say was spot on. He has also been a leader in overseeing invasive species prevention and treatment programs at the park commissions while ensuring the lake remained a safe place for those who recreate on it. But just as the second half of his impactful career while at Soil and Water Conservation for nearly 19 years, Dave helped build an agency and professional environmental asset to an entire county, establishing a cooperative experience, assisting towns in the city and Glens Falls when innumerable programs to protect our natural resources. His leadership will be missed. We wish him long and healthy, happy retirement. Welcome and thank you, Dave Wick.
I can take a second, Chad, to say this is where I got my start. Not sure how many folks were around back in 1994 when I started, but I know many of you so long. It's been fantastic. Frank Thomas, I chairman for a very long time, exception everybody here has different stories about many of you. And I hope you're getting on. I live in Lake George, be here still for a long time. You have a trip coming up, that'd be awesome. But it's just, it's a special experience. I think the chairman was at some one meeting the other day. I said, being at Stormwater for 19 years, those things you don't really love. I was at many of these county meetings, right? And I appreciate that. It's great to see growth there. You can't tell them Republican, Democrat, it's just good. As a taxpayer, citizen, I appreciate that. If I can take a second and introduce you to my favorite people in the world, Jim Phillips is the younger, better looking, smarter version of me. We are hoping that he is going to take my role as part of this, so we work on it only, but I invited to come down here and get to know you folks better, please. Thanks, County, and I can have you blessed my career, and thanks. Thank you. Have a great holiday.
Next, I'd like to introduce Senator Daniel Stack. Good things to say. he's a good friend of this board and, I worked under him, literally.
No one wants to work on it. Thanks, good morning, everyone. It's been a minute since I've been in this room with the board here, but the last board meeting and, like Dave mentioned, two of you are going out, two that I served with. But I think you have 5 going, Brad and Mike, and Kevin B. Thank you, you three, for your contributions, certainly Warren County, and Warren County, I think, is a very healthy county. And I know what it takes to serve, here. You got great staff, I know that, I'm sure that hasn't changed. But the 2 other more elder statesmen of the board that are leaving are people that I had a great privilege to serve with. In fact, Frank Thomas, he was here when I got here 22 years ago, so I thought he came when I said that. And I swear all the time, John Stroud mentioned him serving alongside Joseph P. Warren in the Revolution. This now Stony Creek's a small town, and everyone in here, you know your way to vote. It's my 6 counties, 3 counties are boards of supervisors, 3 are county legends. County legends, 1 person, 1 vote. You guys have wrestled with that back and forth. I am firmly in the camp if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the county board of supervisors format, I think, has worked well for you all. But with that said, you all know how small Stony Creek is, and yet he's been an outstanding budget officer for a very long time here. The county is financially very good help. Kinds of problems that I know you're wrestling with, will be wrestling with decisions, directions to go. What's the best way to pay for the services that you provide? A lot of counties would give an arm and a leg to be having the kinds of gnashing of teeth they're gonna have about how to finance your future. So you're in a good position. And now frankly, the person to tell you, I think the next to agree, he's not solely responsible for that. Again, you've got great staff here, but Frank is, unlike me, he's not a man of many words, he's a quiet guy. He's the example of still waters run deep. He's gonna be a loss to Stony Creek, but I think more significantly, he's gonna be a loss to people in Warren County. And again, most people in Glenville, the Queensbridge, the 2 large municipalities in the county, they have no idea who Frank Thomas is. But everyone in this room does, everyone in this building does. And Frank, it's been you than I got here. It's been a privilege to work with you. And then last but certainly not least, not quite as long served as Frank was here. I remember Larry Bennett, your Gene's predecessor, served with him and sat on the hot corner next to both him and Larry Bennett. But Gene Merlino, a little more interesting, colorful story, our paths than mine and Frank. Frank was here when I was furniture when I got here, and he just made everything happen. And he did a great job. But I knew Gene the Marine when he was working on snowmobile issues and on West Mountain, and we were part of the trailers and all that. And I was town councilman. That's how we met. And a lot of you probably know that story, and a lot of you probably met how that story went. But we had a connection. My father's a Marine too, and Gene and my dad. That's all it takes for Marines. When they come across each other, they're usually halfway there. And since that point, and then Gene obviously I'm the supervisor and sitting with him and working with him for years in this room as well. It's become a very good friend. And so Gene and I've seen Gene struggle. As we all do with the things that happen in life. Gene always did it with a lot of courage, and a lot of class. And again, like deepest respect for you. And again, thank you for being my friend. To all of you, thanks for your service to the county. It's a privilege to work with you and on your behalf in Albany. I'll do what I can to do whatever you guys want me to do. I'm also available for counseling, both personal and professional. As far as in moving the county forward in the direction, but I have no complaints as a citizen, a resident, a taxpayer, just like Dave does. I'll take this opportunity to say, I said a lot of nice things about Dave earlier in the week at the last Lake George Park Commission meeting that he's gonna be at, but again, stormwater conservation districts are good investment statewide. And some are stronger than others. Warren counties is a very strong one, a lot of bang for the buck, well run. And I credit Dave for handing that off to Jim Lieberman. And again, Frank's been and Nick Caimano, played a role in small water conservation district over here. But Dave, in front of your other set of peers, thank you for your service and your great friendship. With that said, I thought I would also use this as an opportunity. I have a proclamation, not for any of the elected officials, because you probably don't deserve it. But for, remember the 100th anniversary of the health services, and I know that that was a milestone this year. If, directors,
Yeah, Dan Durkee.
yeah, if you wouldn't mind come on up and let me just present this to you, again, you're the part of.
I'm sorry, I'm not the director. Janelle Jones had a family emergency, so I'm accepting on her behalf. So,
Thank you though, for you,
Yeah.
my best to Janelle and you all, but, yeah, the department, congrats on 100 years. Now, we all survived the pandemic. Our local health departments shouldered a lot more of that than Governor Cuomo had us all believe when he was, grandstanding in front of the cameras on a daily basis. It was the Janelle Joneses, and her departments of the world that were on the ground, boots on the ground, and every community is different, and, how to efficiently tackle problems like this, and you need people with local knowledge. And so, we're a few years removed from that, but remembering 100 years seemed like a good opportunity to do that at the end of the year to thank her department and again, the county for your, that's what during the pandemic. So, have a happy new year, healthy new year, productive, efficient, low tax new year. And, but we'll see you around the block and everyone enjoy the holidays. Thank you.
Assemblyman Matt Simpson has a few things to say. Another person who got his start.
Morning, and good to be here. First thing I noticed is how nice this boardroom is.
Yeah.
The time that I spent. Great improvement, much brighter here, and it's wonderful to be here this morning, and I too wanted to be here to recognize those supervisors that are board. I was here and served with all of them except Kevin, and it's been like supervisor after I it was an amazing opportunity to have such institutional knowledge. People have been involved in certain their communities for far longer than I had. And as a new guy, I really relied on that knowledge. Truly an honor to serve with all of you, and an honor to serve you today and work with you. Role. Local government is a very unique thing sound. I can remember some of the big issues that we debated for sale of person. And issues that arose, they always keep coming. Once you solve one issue, there's something else right behind that still. And, I think what all of you have done individually has been incredible. But what you've been able to accomplish together, right? As a Warren County resident, just a person who really didn't want to do anything of the right, the spirit of that the Gene and Frank, Mike, certainly been a pleasure, and Brad, 35 years before he even thought about entering public service. Drywall. Back when
Glad you gave that up.
But it's truly a sacrifice that you all make each and every day to serve your communities, Warren County at large. Yeah. On behalf of the assembly, I want to also give the citation.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Mike, Gene, and Frank.
I love the story about the I'll save that for you.
Oh, okay.
when I was a big supervisor, Dave Wick was just transmission, soil and water. We had done some very close to the kind of work down there. Water quality plan on Screw Lake and, I thoroughly enjoyed all my time. Working with you with everything, on these, the town. Good luck, Joe. I know that we'll have a lot of phone calls, but something, check out, big stuff for all these things. I probably wish I.
Next, we're in uncharted waters for me. We have 5 supervisors who are retiring at the end of this year. And we have a proclamation and a flag for them. And I'll ask that as I call your name, please come up and we'll remain up here. We'll get one picture of all of you. So I'd like to start with Kevin Bean, and Kevin is home and he wrote this little note to all his colleagues. To my fellow colleagues, the Florida supervisors for Warren County. I'm truly sorry to be missing my last meeting today. Unfortunately, I came down with the flu late Monday afternoon. And given the fact that Christmas is less than a week away, I don't want to pass it on to anyone else. It has been my pleasure and honor to serve the Johnsburg community and people of Warren County and each and every one of you. I will remember this time as a great learning experience that I will never forget. I wish you all Merry Christmas and a wonderful, productive 2026. And that's sent by Kevin Bean. Next, it will be Mike, and I'll ask Mike Gerasi to come out. Supervisor Gerasi joined our board in 2022 after a long career in law enforcement and public service on the local, state, and federal level. He has brought a calm, informed perspective to our discussions, particularly on issues related to public safety. Mike's quest but effective leadership style will be missed, and we wish him well. If you would stay up here, but we have a proclamation of flag. Thank you. Next will be Brad McGowan. Supervisor McGowan has spent 8 years on the board, providing valuable insight from his career as a contractor to projects such as a renovation of the former county jail and plans to build a regional more. He is also representing Warren County on National Association of Counties events. His energy will be missed, and we wish him well in his future endeavors. Brad, if you would please come up. Thank you. Next will be Frank Thomas. Frank is known by many as the county budget officer for 12 of his 22 years on the board. But he has brought a lot more to the table than overseeing a budget that regularly brings Warren County taxpayers some of the lowest county tax rates in New York State, while making sure the county employees know that they are appreciated. Frank is a quiet leader, dedicated both to the town of Stony Creek and Warren County. He spent more than 20 years on the Warren County Soil and Water Conservation Board, also serving as an integral role. Knowing Frank as we do, he will continue to play a part in many organizations in Stony Creek, doing whatever he needs to be done in any way he wants to do it. Well, thank you, Frank. What do I say about my friend Gene Merlino? I really didn't know Gene when I got here. And the first thing I didn't understand is, I don't want to be on any committees that start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I couldn't figure that out. Then I found out they own the Empire Inn. And he had to cook breakfast every morning. So we became pretty close over the years, and we had a lot of good times. He taught me a lot, and I had no idea how integral part Gene played with tourism in the county. But he did, and all you had to do is visit the inn once and see their input they had on the area. And that's why he worked very tirelessly in tourism action tax. He really put his life into that. One other thing I learned about Frank over the years, his family, Frank, Gene over the years, his family meant a lot to him. He was always talking about his grandson and his grandkids, and I was fortunate enough to meet his family a couple times at the end. And Gene was well respected by his siblings, that's for sure. And then the Marine part. And so I made a mistake, said, "You were a Marine." He said, "No, Kevin, I am a Marine." And that's when I learned about the Marine part. So we were fortunate in 2018 to go to Washington. I have to tell this story. I don't think all of you have heard this. For Matt Simpson and I, we knew we were gonna go. Gene was the last minute, like he did everything last minute. He had to get somebody to come in and handle his duties at the end. So he calls me, he says, "I'm gonna go." I said, "Did you get your credentials?" "Yes, I have my credentials," because we're on a tour of the White House and then we have to go into the other part of the complex to attend meetings. So it was all good. We got on the airplane, no problems getting on, flying out of Albany. We go down. And I think we stopped at Reagan International when we get off. So we get off and everything's going well. We get the car. These guys are seasoned travelers, so somewhat. So we get over to where we have to be. So we decided we're going to do the tour of the White House first. It was a self-tour. So I said, "Okay, we have to show our credentials. You got your credentials?" "Yep." So we go in and you go in that little white building with all the Secret Service and they start checking us out. And I check in, everything was good. And I go through, Matt checks in, everything's good. He's found me out through and you go through like a little garden area and no Gene. And no Gene. And I said, "Matt, what should we do?" It's because I don't want to mess with the Secret Service, but he doesn't come. And he doesn't come, and he doesn't come. So I said, "Matt, do you think we ought to go back?" He said, "Nah, we'll wait a few more minutes." And then up in his way he walks, here comes Gene. I said, "What the hell did you do? I told you to get your..." "I did, Kevin, but I had two addresses. One, when he moved up here, he was at an address, and then I think one for the lamplight." So they stopped him, they wouldn't let him through. He explained the situation. We go through. We had a great tour. We toured, took a lot of pictures. They took tons and tons and tons of pictures. We had a real good time. So we go out in the afternoon. We're going to attend meetings of the president's staff at the tour. So we run into guys from Washington County, and they also had tour passes to the Capitals we were going to do after our meetings. So we go over there, and I said, "Boy, I hope we're all set." Gene says, "Yeah, it's all set." So we go into the Eisenhower building, and there again, you know, you go through Secret Service, and at that time there was a few people with machine guns checking us in, and I said, I hope we don't get stopped." Well, in we go. The guys from Washington County go in, Bob Henke, Ryan Campbell, and I think Matt Hicks from Granville. So we go in, I go in, Matt goes in, Gene gets stopped. So Campbell said, "You got that paper with you where we call that lady?" I said, "Yeah." So I said to the guy, I said, "He's a Marine." He didn't think that was funny, but I said, "He's a Marine. Can't he go through? Can't go through." So we made a phone call, and some the lady called back, talked to the guard at the gate, and all of a sudden we got through. I said, "Boy, Gene, I'm gonna kill you." So other than that, we had a real good time. You go through, we did our tour. Then we went to the Capitol, we had a real good time, and it was a great trip, and we were able to get our picture taken in front of the gates, in front of the White House. I still have it hanging. It's probably one of the only pictures I have hanging in my office of Matt, Gene, and I at the White House. So he's been a good friend. I've taken him on some trips. I have to tell him every time he gets in the car to hook his seatbelt. That's standard fare, even when he wrecked up coming home from New Jersey one night and almost got killed. Every now and then you still have to remind him to put his seatbelt on, but he's much better at that. So I'm certainly going to miss Gene. He is a friend. we had a lot of good times. We had some hard times together, but I wish them all. So if all of you would come over to the center, we have a flag and a proclamation for you. And we appreciate everything you've done for Warren. Oh. So they're in order. I think it's Mike. Right. He's pouring down on there, great to work with, and we're gonna miss them all. All right. Oh, Dan and Matt, yeah, okay. Yeah, we gotta get them, okay. Whatever we're going to say. You know,
Testing 1, 2, testing. You all ready for me? I have to say, it was quite an experience, one being asked, to run, back in, for, 2018. It just seems like yesterday. And I really did say, you sure you want me, and I'm sure most of you can test, I don't think the county was ready for a person like me. I stand on my own 2 feet. I've worked for myself for 43 years. And I have a strong personality, if you haven't all noticed, all right? But one of the things that really prompted me to want to run is to be a voice for the people. And that's what's on my sign, and that's what I have felt that I have done for the past 8 years, is be a voice, and a strong voice. And I'm not scared of anyone. I will not back down from anything, but I don't care what you're registered, how you vote, and if you do vote. But you have a problem in Queensbury or Warren County, all right, my phone seemed to ring, and I will stand up for, what I believe in. And it hasn't all been peaches and cream around here. I've been through a few things, but it's understood. I'm taking a step back for the year right now, to reconvince my wife maybe running again for something. That's the hardest one right now, but I want to say that it really has been a joy. I wore this hat and I'm wearing it to the meeting because there was a time that I really felt super strong that we are a great team and we can work together. And we have worked well together and across the board. And I remember, texting some of the Democrats, underneath this, hey, bring it in a little before I have to bring the come along out from underneath my desk, Remember when we had desks, this is quite nice now. But, working together and being a team is a key thing. And the only thing I can say is I really hope that the people that are still here and reelected and the new people that are coming in will listen to their constituents and read this and actually stand up for what is right. And I've said it before is, things have started in the federal government and they're trillions of dollars of debt. Then they've gone to the state and now they're millions of dollars of debt or billions of dollars of debt. And now they're passing it on to the counties and the towns, which we're becoming millions of dollars of debt. And I have said this for 8, when is enough enough? And standing up and believing and going after Albany, it's when it's enough enough. And that's all I can say. But I really hope that the people that are here and the people that are coming in will stand up and really listen to it and not be afraid of Albany and this and that. I brought up the fact with the $500,000 is because it was a court order. And, you know, it passed with 2 no's. Or, you know, but look at Washington County. Yeah, would they take it out of their sales tax? Probably. But you know what? They made a stand. And this is what we should have done together for the team. We should have gone across New York State counties and talked to all of them and said, hey, we got to stand up for that. That's a lot of money right now. So, you know, I just really hope that everybody will continue on and hopefully some of you will pick up my loud voice. All right. Maybe not my approach, but my voice would be fine. And thank you all for great 8 years.
Well, good morning all. That's a tough act to follow. But it's hard for me to even stand here and just tell you how much my heart is counting and my town. I've loved everything I've done. Way back when we used to have the Democrats and Republicans that go 9 votes this way, 10 votes that way. But over the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's become one team. We all vote for the county and for our own towns and villages and cities. So I've been proud to be sitting in that chair up there 20 years now, long time. It's humbled. I've been blessed with a lot of great friends, especially Kevin. And I'll give you a quick story about that DC theater because I used to own an inn and I had the driver's license said the Lamplight Inn, but my other driver's license said Gene Marino. Blah, blah. So when I did the security thing, I put the one on, but I showed it again. Right away, it was in the corner with my hands behind. No. But it's been a pleasure. Another gentleman sitting over the corner over there in that red jacket, Nick Caimano. If you don't like Gene Merlino, blame him. Because he's the one that talked me into running. And way back when on TV8, on cameras, I still have the thing, and I won't mention the opponent that was next to me, and he was just didn't sound like he was too happy with Italians. And when I got my turn, I said, well, what do you have against Italians? I'm first. And everybody cracked up in the audience. I still have the tape. That even the guy on the TV was shaking so hard they went for a commercial. That's the way I am. I've been blessed, great friends. My life is wonderful. I have great grandkids, like Kevin mentioned. And I'll give you a quick note, Kevin. Last night before last, my grandson was on duty, traffic, and a car was going too fast the wrong way. I found out last night about it. I saw the citation they gave him, but he went after this car, also going the wrong way. And the guy wouldn't stop. I have a picture of his patrol. Ran him off the road, get him off from the oncoming traffic. So things like that, you're proud of your grandkids, you're proud that they do the right job. But the safety part doesn't, it hurts the family. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I've been blessed with all the people. We've had bickers up and down, especially Dan Stack. I'll never forget the phrase, doing a budget for raising sale tax. He sat there and he's pounding the desk saying, we got to crack some eggs. I'll never forget that phrase. So, but we've been good friends. And Matt, also good friends for all these years. And so I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to serve all of you.
Like to thank the people. That was one pretty cool. President and pleasure most of the time. Not always, but always interested.
Been a long time. Starting to, but. The Chairman Garrity, past year, Captain Bloodcross. He think work heads, employees, administrators. I get a lot of credit for this. A lot of other people, I'm not working. I get paid, I get to say yes and no. That's good. Like, like that, respect. Susan, like me. First, you should quit. It's always hard. Long time, it's so long. You love to do better books, but I love. I also like to introduce my, person that's gonna come after me, that's the son of the person that was before me. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of comments. First of all, after nearly 50 years of public service, the last four really been a real honor for me to be able to work with all of you. And thanks to the people of Oregon that placed me here. So just very honored. It's great to see so many friends. Our incoming supervisor-elect, Wayne Butler, he's going to do a terrific job for the town and for all of you. Wayne, I wish you much success. And there's an older friend, Nick Caimano. Nick Caimano's brother, Paul, and I were best friends through grammar school. And I can remember in kindergarten, maybe first grade, in the summer, Paul would say, I have to go to my brother's for the summer. And I said, where's your brother live? He said, Glens Falls. I said, Glens Falls, where is that? I lived in downtown Albany and where the Empire State Plaza. I said, how do you even get there? I can remember as a little kid. And he would go away for 3 months and come back in the fall, tell me about Glens Falls and Lake George and Warren County. And that was my first introduction. Eventually got here and moved here 25 years ago and never regretted a minute of it. So, Mr. Chair, thank you so much for your leadership, Administrator, County Attorney. The staff of the Administrator's Office is second to none, just tremendous resources. So proud to have the chance to work with them. And all of you, I can tell you that this year, at least for me, it's been very different because there was not, for lack of a better word, a lot of drama. And the chair was treated with dignity and respect, which he should have. We can disagree, we can vote yes or no, it could be any party you want. But in this room, the dignity and the decorum and the respect is really what counts. So thank you all so much for letting me be part of this and part of your friendship. Appreciate it.
Now we'll open up the privilege of floor for anybody else who would like to address the board. Seeing nobody, we'll go on now to the meeting. We have a public hearing on local law number 1, and I'll ask the clerk to read the notice.
Public comment, I was wondering, are they able to say something or just public?
No, I suppose you can say something.
I would just like to ask if at the appropriate time, if we'd be able to go into a quick executive sessions. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here for the budget committee board meeting, but there was a few things I would like to point out and hand out to for some clarifications of things that I have seen.
Would it be appropriate to do it before the local law?
Whenever you feel it appropriate to.
Okay, Supervisor McGowan, are you making that a form of motion?
Yes.
Do we have a second to go into executive session? Second by Supervisor Mayday. I'll ask the clerk to do a vote.
I think what it's the basis, I'm not sure. What
Oh, okay.
the executive session is it discuss matters leading to appointment, promotion, demotion, suspension, dismissal, or removal of particular.
That sounds pretty general, yes.
Okay, that would be under public officers law section 105, 105, 1F. The basis for the executive session. Question.
All those in favor of going into exec session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Or we'll go into executive session. Thank you all. I'm gonna get this, probably completely.